Your phone buzzes. You pick it up, and your bank account says $1 billion. Not 100,000, not a million, $1 billion sitting in your account, like it has always been there. Like this is completely normal. Like your phone should not be vibrating itself off the table right now. But it is. And here is the catch. You have exactly 24 hours to spend every single cent of it. Not invest it, not save it, not quietly move it into something responsible that your accountant would approve of. Spend it on things starting right now. If even $1 is left at midnight, you lose all of it. Every cent. Gone. This should be easy. $1 billion in 24 hours? That's less than 50 million an hour. That's nothing. You could do this before lunch. Right? So let us start simple. Head to the nearest exotic car dealership. Pick up a Lamborghini Urus for $230,000, then a Ferrari SF90 for $510,000, then a Rolls-Royce Cullinan because you deserve something comfortable to sit in while you figure out the rest of the day. You know what? Just buy the whole dealership. Every car on the lot, every key, every piece of paperwork, the man in the polo shirt who tried to upsell you on floor mats, all of it. $8 million. Done. You feel good. You feel powerful. You feel like exactly the kind of person who owns $8 million worth of cars and has nowhere specific to be this morning. Then you do the math. To spend $1 billion in 24 hours, you need to spend $694,444 every single minute. Every single minute. You just spent $8 million. That bought you 11 minutes and 31 seconds of progress. You have 23 hours, 48 minutes, and 29 seconds left on the clock, and you're already behind. You need to think bigger. Yachts. Call 50 people. Tell each one to find the most expensive yacht they can locate anywhere in the world and buy it immediately. No questions, just buy it. Wire the money and get confirmation. Give each one a $500,000 finder's fee for the trouble, because why not? You have $1 billion. Finder's fees are basically a rounding error at this point. The average super yacht runs around $10 million. 50 yachts at $10 million each is $500 million, plus $25 million in finder's fees. $525 million. Gone. You now own 50 yachts. Here's a question nobody prepared you for. Where do you put 50 yachts? You need a marina. A private marina on the coast of Monaco runs about $50 million. You buy it. Done. You now own a Monaco marina. You've never been to Monaco. Your 50 yachts have a home. This is all working out. Total spent so far, $583 million. Remaining, $417 million. Time used, about 2 hours. You're not going to make it doing this. Real estate. Big real estate. The most expensive apartment ever sold in New York City went for $238 million. One apartment, one building, one address. Buy it. Then buy the floor directly below it. Then buy the penthouse above it. Then the floor above that. Top 4 floors of a Manhattan skyscraper for around $300 million. Done. You feel good about this. Top 4 floors, Manhattan. You can see the whole city from up there. You own it. Then your lawyer calls. Buying additional units in the building requires approval from the co-op board. That's the group of people who officially have a say in who gets to buy into the building. The co-op board is 7 retired people who meet once a month in a conference room that, based on all available evidence, smells like carpet cleaner. The next meeting is in 3 weeks. You have 20 hours. 7 retired people in a beige room just blocked $1 billion with a gavel and a scheduling conflict. $1 billion, a gavel. You lost. Fine, build something instead. $100 million buys a genuinely extraordinary private compound, multiple structures, indoor pool, private helipad, a basketball court for when you have friends over, which will be often now because you own a basketball court, a recording studio that you'll never actually use but will absolutely show people when they visit. Hire the best architect in the world, $5 million. He arrives the same afternoon, which tells you everything you need to know about how architects respond to phone calls that start with the words $5 million. He examines your blueprint for a long time. He takes out his pencil and he makes one improvement. The improvement is a slightly different shade of beige on one interior wall. He's extremely proud of this. You pay him. He hands you a document. At the bottom, in small print, planning permission required. Timeline, 6 to 8 months. You have 18 hours. And this is the moment you start to understand something that nobody tells you when they hand you $1 billion. Money doesn't solve everything. What it mostly does is reveal which problems were never about money in the first place. The co-op board was never going to say yes faster because of more money. The city was never going to process planning permission overnight for any amount. Some things just take the time they take, and no number on a bank screen changes that. You file this thought away. You have 17 hours left. Philosophy can wait. Buy experiences. That's the move. Call every legendary musician you can think of. Offer $5 million each for a private show tonight. Some say yes immediately. One says yes, and then their manager calls back 15 minutes later to explain that $5 million doesn't actually cover production costs. You wire $2 million more without arguing, because it's 11 in the morning and you have $400 million left, and this is not the hill you die on. You now have a private concert happening tonight in your $8 million car dealership, which turns out to be the only large space you own that is immediately available on zero notice. The cars are pushed to the sides, a stage goes up at the front. There's a Lamborghini visible directly behind the drummer. Nobody thinks this is strange. It looks kind of incredible, actually. Then you think, why keep it private? Rent the biggest stadium in the city, $500,000 for the night. Give away every ticket for free. Hire catering, security, a fireworks company, because $1 billion and no fireworks would be genuinely embarrassing. The most expensive free party in the city's history happens that night, and the reviews will be outstanding. 46 million remaining, 14 hours on the clock. You can't do this one transaction at a time anymore. You need a completely different approach. Bulk spend. Hit everything at once. $10 million to every animal shelter in the country. Not because you have a lifelong passion for animal welfare, mostly because you need to move $10 million, and shelter dogs are a perfectly reasonable recipient. $8 million to eliminate all school lunch debt in your state. Now, let me explain what school lunch debt actually is, because it's one of those things that sounds bureaucratic until you think about it for 10 seconds. There are children right now who walk up to the lunch counter with their food on a tray, and the register shows a balance of $2.50 that their family hasn't paid. And the tray gets taken back in front of everyone. A child's lunch, $2.50. $8 million wipes out every single dollar of that across the entire state. Every register turns green. Every tray goes through. That's done now. And the reason that problem existed at all is not because nobody cared. It's because nobody with $8 million had ever sat down and looked at it directly.
$5 million funds a hospital pediatric wing that has been trying to raise money for 4 years. 4 years of fundraising events and donation drives and letters to foundations. 1 wire transfer. Done. $3 million makes public transit completely free for 12 months across the city. Every bus, every train, every passenger. The transit authority is confused by the check, but they accept it immediately and figure out the paperwork later. $2 million saves a bookshop on a dark street somewhere that was 2 weeks from closing after 30 years in business. The owner takes the closing down sign off the door and throws it in a bin at the back of the shop. $28 million, gone in 45 minutes. $18 million remaining, 3 hours left. Now things get creative.
$5 million buys naming rights to street signs in every major city in the country. Your name on actual government street signs in multiple cities simultaneously. This is permanent, or at least permanent until the relevant city councils vote to change it, which most of them will within 18 months. But right now, tonight, your name is on the signs. $800,000 buys a small uninhabited island somewhere in a warm ocean. It has 1 palm tree, no electricity, no running water, no structures of any kind. You rename it after yourself. You look at it on your phone. You zoom in. 1 palm tree. You zoom in further. Still 1 palm tree. You are unreasonably pleased about this island. It is yours and it has your name on it, and that is enough. $2 million commissions a statue. The sculptor is the best in the country, and she can finish it by Tuesday if you pay rush fees. You pay rush fees. $7 million left. 90 minutes on the clock.
And don't come back empty-handed.
Panic spending begins. $1 million in lottery tickets handed to strangers on the street by a team of assistants running in every direction. Most strangers are deeply suspicious. One examines his ticket under a streetlight for 4 minutes. One tries to scratch it with a button from his jacket. $500 tips at every restaurant in the city tonight. Your team moves through the city systematically, sliding $500 onto tables before customers have even asked for the bill. One diner looks up, looks at the cash, looks around the room, sees no one, and very quietly pockets it and keeps eating.
You buy every sneaker in a large shoe store, every color, every style, every size. You do not actually know your own shoe size right now. You have been awake for 22 hours making large financial decisions, and your shoe size has genuinely left your brain. You buy all of them anyway. $5 million left. 30 minutes. And then something changes. You sit at the table, and for the first time all day, you are not looking at a list or a scoreboard or a timer. You are just sitting. And you realize something that $1 billion does not come with instructions about. You cannot buy the day before this happened. The version of yesterday where your phone was just a phone, and the people around you were just themselves. The concert promoter said yes before you finished the sentence. The architect appeared within hours. The strangers outside the restaurant became very friendly the moment the assistant with the cash showed up. Everything has had a slightly different quality to it today. A performance quality. A speed to it that feels like people responding to the number rather than to you. And you find yourself wondering which of any of this would have happened the same way without the money. So you do something that is not on the list. You call your parents. You wire $1 million to each of them.
The note says, no conditions, no questions. Spend it however you want. I mean that literally. Spend it on anything. You wire $500,000 to your 3 closest friends. Same note. You put $1 million into a trust for a young person in your family who is not old enough to spend it yet, but will be someday and will know what to do with it. $4.5 million. Gone in about 8 minutes. In phone calls. 500,000 left. 4 minutes.
And a tip. $1,000?
$180,000 on the best watch in the city. It arrives by courier in 2 minutes. You tip the courier $1,000 cash from your jacket pocket. He says thank you, then thank you again, then a 3rd time before he reaches the door. He looks back once more. Thank you. He leaves. You open your online shopping cart. Things you added weeks or months ago and never bought. A lamp. A book about architecture you thought looked interesting. A kitchen gadget from a video. Headphones. A spatula. You were not sure when you added the spatula. You click Buy All. $847. You add a tip to every active delivery order in the city. The app freezes. You tap it. It unfreezes. Unusual activity detected. You dismiss it and keep going. Delivery riders across the city look at their phones while riding and nearly crash into various things. They are having the best shift of their careers. 11 seconds left. $312,000. Earlier today you saw a post from a stranger. Just a few words. Need help with rent this month. 3 likes. Nobody responded. You open a transfer. You type the amount. You start writing a note and delete it. You try again and delete that too. You send it with no note. 4 seconds. Midnight. 0. You spent $1 billion. The cars were fun for about 45 minutes. The yachts are currently all in Monaco in a marina you own and have never visited. The HOA said no with a gavel. 7 retired people defeated $1 billion, and they did it in a beige room, and they went home for dinner afterward completely unbothered. The concert was genuinely good. The school lunch debt was $8 million, and it had been sitting there year after year because nobody with $8 million had ever looked at it directly. Your island has 1 palm tree and no electricity. You are still proud of it. The statue will be ready Tuesday. And those phone calls in the last 8 minutes, that was the only part of the entire day that felt real. $1 billion. And the most expensive thing you discovered was not a yacht or a penthouse or a Monaco marina or a stadium full of fireworks or an island with your name on it. It was the feeling that what you are doing actually matters. You cannot put a price on that. But sometimes, if you stop looking at the scoreboard long enough to actually look up, you find it in the last 12 minutes. And on your shopping list, sitting on the table in the empty speakeasy, every item is crossed out. Every item except one. Call Mom